So, what is it like living in Glendale?
Oh, we don't live. Oh, well, we do. Yeah, we
We
do
do
live in Glendale. Actually. Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah, what's the community like? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Well, it doesn't seem to be much of an integration of residents and business. It seems like the business that's here is we have a lot of national offices and others that are more focused on the region and bringing in regional businesses, or bringing in regional customers to Glendale. I was born here and live here, and I've just seen that if it's not a full community, that there's a lot of divide within the community. If it's not business and residential, it could be cultural, it could be it just doesn't seem to be closely knit and integrated.
Okay. So on the upside, like, what would you say are some strengths of the community?
Strengths of the community, I think. Well, obviously we have a strong business community. They're working hard to bring in, like I said, people from throughout Los Angeles County and the region and to have shops and centers that people are drawn to. I think a lot of our longtime local businesses are having to fold because of that more national organizations coming in.
Okay, so then that kind of leads into my next question about the employment here. I mean, you said a lot of the small businesses are closing, so you find that employment is higher, lower?
People are coming.
Well, we had a very high occupancy rate in our buildings. So I think what the business community is trying to do is to make Glendale a place to go to, rather than just be a place that you're from. And when you have organizations that are national or regional coming to Glendale, I think that they don't specifically focus on hiring Glendale residents. I think they're probably more focused on the fact that there's a high occupancy rate. They probably get a good office space for less money than they would in other communities. And so hopefully their transplantation to Glendale is going to also equate in recruiting people who will come to live in Glendale. And that, I believe, is the hope.
Okay, well, that's important. Okay, so let's see. Do you have a family doctor? Do you have specifically, do you have a doctor that you go to or that your family visits?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, is the doctor accessible to you? Is it, close, far away?
It's close. My doctor's in Burbank.
Okay. Oh, so your doctor's in Burbank, not in Glendale.
Right.
Okay. And then what do you think is the greatest health issue in this area?
It's smoking. Chronic disease from secondhand smoke and from being exposed to secondhand smoke, and people who do smoke. I think that we have a high Eastern European population in Glendale, upwards of 80,000 or more, and they bring with them a practice and an addiction to nicotine and a practice of smoking. So they call it a cultural practice, but I've never seen a culture built on tobacco or nicotine. I think it's more of an addiction, and that's proliferated through how you're seen by your peers or your family as a man or a woman or a member of our family. You have to smoke, and I think that's not constructive, and it definitely hurts, because I think when you have a large population that smokes, you also have a large population that gets sicker more often. They're more prone to chronic disease. So that's why you see so many people going to Glendale Adventist and Glendale Memorial Hospitals, because of the illnesses that they've contracted because of their addiction to nicotine and tobacco.
And then do they have laws on the streets here about where you're allowed to smoke, where you're not?
Yes, Glendale was one of the first, actually was the first city in the state of California to get an A grade by the American Lung Association in their State of Tobacco Control report card.
Okay.
And so other cities have aspired to reach Glendale's status, but that came with a lot of work by the local coalition. There are people involved, as well as the American Heart Association, American Lung Association, American Cancer Society, and people who were contracted to work in Glendale that brought about smoke-free parks, smoke-free bars and restaurants, smoke-free workplaces, smoke-free outdoor dining. There was a move by Councilman Najarian to push that back, to re-allow smoking in outdoor dining. And I believe that the City Council is taking a look at perhaps reestablishing those laws, but there seems to be a big political push and business push by those people that like to cater to people who do smoke.
Interesting. Okay. And then, what seems to be the gossip center or the informal communication networks of the community? So how do people communicate here?
There's various organizations that people hang out with, such as the Glendale Latino Association, the Chamber of Commerce Mixers, the downtown Glendale, I think they have, where they have restaurants offer on one night. You know, you buy a ticket and you go to all these places and you get to taste the foods and things of that nature.
That's cool. That's
yeah,
fun.
that's going to be coming up here this spring. We have a hot rod night in August in the summertime. And there are some organizations that offer cultural bonding events where they'll have dances and foods in a park.
Okay.
So, like in Glendale, we've got a large Korean community, Armenian community, Spanish community, and the community that was here that founded Glendale is the Caucasian community. So, what they do is they offer these types of events where everybody can come and set up food tables and information about their organizations, and also have cultural events, like they'll do dancing and things of that nature.
Cool. Okay. Do we have any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Sure. I read the Glendale News Press, and that's where I get a lot of my information.
We should start reading it.
Thank you.